Alrighty, so I am back for another stream on F124, and as you can see, doing something quite unique. I am racing against Mcjammy, definitely one of the best drivers I'm going to race, probably in some time. And yeah, it's, I think, going to be quite entertaining. Just found out that the track is going to be Spa, so it makes things interesting. Spa is not my favorite track by any means, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. And what I mean by that is just I like Spa as a track. I just don't like the way it handles on this game. The car is just pretty skittish everywhere, regardless of what you do with the setup. So it doesn't matter what you do. It's just not going to feel very nice to drive. So fingers crossed I can get up to speed relatively quickly, but yeah.
An invincible Eve break.
Whoops. It's a video I was watching earlier. Now I have to refer to some previous footage. Okay, sweet. Alrighty. So yeah, we're just gonna sit here until 10 o'clock because that's when we are starting. Um, so yeah, it's gonna be quite quite boring for the next 5 minutes or so, but it'll change up, I think, once we get in the lobby and we see what's what really. Main issue I really have with Spa is just, well, sector, nah, it's all pretty bad. um, but the final chicane and turn one especially are a pain to drive, in my opinion. In the final chicane, if you miss the apex slightly, the car just wants to spin around. And at turn one, um, generally you have to run the brake bias rearwards, but it's a very fine line between rear locking and killing your exit, or just front locking, going wide and killing your exit. So yeah, sector 2 isn't too bad. There's some corners that always suck, but yeah, as long as I have a clean first lap and can get into a rhythm, I think I'll be okay. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens. All right, should be any minute now. Time is 9:58 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I believe in Australia they're 16 hours ahead, which is like 3 o'clock. Is that 3? It's 3 hours to 12 plus 12. No, I can't do math. um, I'm curious. Let me check. If I can type. It is 2 p.m. So I wasn't far off. I said 3. No, that was right. Oh, no, it's not. All right. I think we're good to go. It's 10. Alright, yeah, we're going. Sweet. Alright, I'm gonna shut up because as much as I joke around, I do want to try and win this thing. So, um, fully expect them to be on pole and quali, but we'll see about how the race goes. See no reason to make any changes, so I'm ready. He invalidated. Oh, nope. I was wrong. Looked like he invalidated. Not a good final chicane. At all. What's the margin? Yeah. Yeah, I lost it all in that final sector. Half a second. Just wait.
use DRS. DRS now available. Okay, focus. We need to stay on form. If you think you can get past, make use of the overtake button and see what you can do. Nice move. Good job.
Kinda think he's sitting back on purpose. It's hard to know for sure though. I think we're both struggling through that last chicane. I think he's ready to lead.
Keep on him, he might make a mistake. You might experience some understeer now that you're in the wake of the car ahead. Try to get past as soon as possible. We're approaching the pit window now, and you're going to be on hards next time. The car ahead is a second a lap faster than you. Remember to play around with ERS modes in your MFD if you need to.
That's what I'm doing, buddy. I feel like I'm coming down to something, but that's neither here nor there. Let's not do that again.
Box, we're coming in this lap.
I think my tires are better, but debating on whether or not I want to overcut or undercut.
Okay, pit in this lap, and remember the speed limit. We'll be penalised if we exceed it. Keep that in mind as you approach.
And that answers the question.
Let's use overtake and burn off some of this energy.
far as I can tell, the overcut will work.
Okay, mate, that's it. Go, go, go. Perfect job from you and the crew there, mate. We're delighted with that. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
Now I want track position.
Okay, we've lost a position. That's us down a place. think you can get past, make use of the overtake button and see what you can do.
Let's check out what ERS mode I was in. Alright, let me stop this alarm. So I push a little bit so I can look at my phone for a second.
Good job, that was the fastest lap of the race so far. Just so you know, we're getting some strange readings from a couple of the sensors, so I don't think you need to be worried, just some bad data, so keep doing what you're doing. I'll let you know if we notice any genuine problems. Okay, so the current fastest lap, 1 minute 43.7. Okay, focus. We need to stay on form. Use your overtake button more. It's time to utilise some of this energy. Come on. Pace is strong, but be aware these tyres need to go the distance.
My alarm going off is not annoying at all. Trying to turn it off.
Okay, mate, this is the final lap of the race. Final lap. Nice one. Very lovely drive. On to the
Jesus
next one.
Christ. That was a good one. A shame it came down to DRS games at the end, but it was fun.
You know, there's a lot of DRS games going on. I wanted to try and see the position, so I tried to fake out a mistake to let the door open, but I had to slam on the brakes to make sure he was in front of me. So which worked out in the end, but it was very close entering that back straight, which was basically going to decide it all. I thought I had it pretty well in the bag because I had a lot of battery, but then I realized I ran out of deployment, so I lost all that advantage, and it was side by side. I had to send it at that point, and yeah, I was just trying to go for a switchback, which worked pretty well. But again, I didn't have deployment, so it was extremely close. And yeah, it was quite lucky, to be honest, because it could have gone either way. So yeah, big congratulations to him.
Look, you know what? People I think would rather hear you guys talk to each other instead of me talk to you, man. Bthommm, Mcjammy, anything you want to say like to each other, like about that race?
Yeah, that was
How many
a
warnings?
lot of
How many
fun.
warnings did you have?
None.
None, really. I had two.
Yeah.
It was so close. I almost got like a 3 second, like 3 different times entering the final lap. It wasn't very optimal.
Yeah, that's insane. But
Quick
no, that
question for
was
Mcjammy. Oh, sorry,
super
Bthommm.
close. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be that close. I thought once you
Yeah,
had gotten the DRS, it would have been over, but seemed like
yeah,
he ran out of deployment slightly before I did, but with the switchback, he just managed to eke it out in the end, so fair play.
yeah. I thought you had it at that point.
Yeah.
Mcjammy, was your strategy always to pit when you did, or did you kind of make that decision last second when you saw him stay out?
It was always going to be lap 10 from the very start, so I just kind of played my cards so that I could be behind on lap 10, so we didn't pit the same window so I can try and get an undercut, maybe break DRS, but I had a woeful out lap. I'm pretty sure Bthommm gained like 5 tenths on me in sector 1, so yeah, it also gave me a good understanding on I guess the like straight line speed because we hadn't been too far from each other the entire time. So straight line speed was a bit skewed on both sides. So it was a good understanding of where we both sat on terms of the straight line speed, and it was going to determine whether I was going to be in front or behind entering the last lap. Because if I had a speed advantage, I would be in front, but obviously I wasn't. So I needed to be behind to try and get a slingshot by.
Right. And Bthommm, conversely, when you saw him go into the pits, we know you were pushing really hard using that battery. Did you maybe feel a little bit of pressure there of the undercut looming
Um,
potentially?
Not really. I mean, I always knew it was a chance that could happen, so I was like, I'm just gonna make sure I have the battery to um, try and mitigate the damage that'd be done from an undercut. And yeah, I think that having a relatively clean in lap and him saying it was a bit scruffy kind of allowed things to play out pretty much perfectly. I came out ahead, and then he overtook on the exit of turn one, which gave me the DRS, so I could just get him right back. And from there, I was like, okay, yeah, we're just going to be stuck to each other like glue for the rest of this race, and that's exactly what happened. So,
All right. Well, just to, off that point, do you want to just a couple people said maybe 50% is too long for a 1v1. Maybe do you want to kind of explain the importance of doing a 50% race? Um, with two guys like you.
yeah, excuse me, I've been coming down with something for a couple days now, but yeah, there's just more opportunity to see the differences between drivers in terms of like how they like to go about racing, strategy, ERS management, how they are on their tires, things like that, that you wouldn't really see in like a 5 lap or a 25%. So I think you could see, well, I'd certainly noticed some slight differences in our styles and how we were managing the battery. So I found it pretty interesting throughout the race, just learning about how he handles a 50% race, and I'm sure he learned quite a bit about how I go about it as well. So it was quite fun in that way.
Cool, man. And I kind of have one
Definitely.
last question for both you guys. Kind of corny, but like, you guys are two of the better drivers around. What advice would you have to a driver kind of on the come up trying to get to your levels?
Um, I would just analyze people who are better than you, see what they're doing differently, and then try to emulate that. Also, always look at your past races and see where you can improve. Like maybe there's a particular corner or like a decision you made in the race that wasn't the best. You can just work on that, and naturally over time you'll just get better and better. So obviously everyone reaches a ceiling at some point, but naturally over time you'd reach probably the best you could probably get. So yeah.
And you could
McJamie?
also like and
Yep, I
subscribe to
basically
their
agree with
channel.
everything. Oh, sorry.
McJamie.
Yep, I basically agree with everything he said as well. Just looking at people who's better than you, just like watch like some of like the top class drivers, like watch their onboards, see what they're doing, like the ERS modes, the play style, and that kind of stuff, their braking points and acceleration, that kind of stuff. And also just like don't practice too much as well. What I found, I feel like if you practice too much, you're gonna find yourself losing interest in like the game, and you're also gonna like realize if you practice too much for a race, for instance, like maybe 7 hours, something ridiculous,
Doesn't go
um,
well.
it doesn't go well because if you are in a 50% race, you're able to identify your mistakes a lot more, which makes you frustrated, and that usually ends up being quite detrimental. So I think just having a clear mind, during races as well, is quite advantageous as well. So
Stuff, man.
Yeah, I
Very
couldn't agree
insightful,
more.
bro. We got to get you on the podcast sometime. But
yeah.
Hold on,
yeah,
quick
you know
question
what?
from me. Oh,
No, yeah, I was just gonna say. Now that I've asked all my stuff, if any other comments from dogs, DRS, let the dogs run
I've
wild.
got a few. I've got a
Yeah,
few.
of course.
But
my
yeah, let's
question.
shoot.
Oh yeah. My question was, I know you guys mentioned watching those guys who are better than you. Who do you guys watch when it comes to racing?
What a great
Yeah.
question. What a great
That's
question.
phenomenal.
Dogs chill,
Yeah.
dogs chill.
Because if you know, I watch Bthommm, I watch Mcjammy. I haven't really watched it, but I'm always like watching Bthommm whenever he's doing like his YouTube stuff. I'm always like one of those people on there listening to
Hmm.
what he's saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Um,
usually.
yeah,
You
go
can
ahead.
go first. Oh. Yeah, I usually watch my rivals back in Australia, just see what they're doing, if they're live streaming, what can I improve upon. Um, Usually outside of Australia, go to like watch like Julian Klaffenbach, like Jana Otmer, like people who just release their full race highlights onto YouTube and like their analysis. I find them very helpful for me, just because like usually Jana Otmer is a very good point to watch, but obviously he's the best of the best, so it's very hard to emulate what he does. But I feel like watching people who are only 3 times faster than you is really helpful for you. So that's usually who I watch.
Okay.
Yeah,
Next
and I don't really
question
have.
to reporter. I took your dogs.
No.
Oh, after
Beat 'em.
Tom. Sorry,
Beat 'em.
Tom.
Yeah, no worries. I don't really have a whole lot to add to that. I just add on Brendan Lee to that list, particularly like for intermediate level to beginner level. You can learn a lot from him. He does like time trial laps and does like a breakdown, like corner by corner, lines, gears, all that sort of thing. So you can learn a lot from him as well.
Right, fair one. Right,
Great
so
question.
I know, like, obviously I was talking to T-Bone before this race started, and I thought 50% fair enough, because I know that you'll be doing it on YouTube, so I can pick up loads of tips watching your channels, and I've
Oh, you
subscribed to
complained a
both.
bunch.
No, I said that's fine, but I warned you. Well, what if someone actually makes a
I
big enough
know.
mistake that they're that frustrated that they can't be asked anymore because
My
it's quite a long
prediction would
race?
be someone would just kind of
But
retire out if they fell out of
but
it. You know.
that's what my worry was. Only if some drama happened, but then again, it was two, first class races on track, and it was what a show today. You was passing each other, perfect points the entire time. You didn't really push it to the extreme. You tried to cause a few little issues, poking nose where it doesn't need to be. Trying to get corner cuts. It turns out not T-Bone, Bthommm, you didn't get even one corner cut that race. I mean,
Yeah, no
did you get
warnings.
one?
Nah.
No warnings at all. I mean, that in itself is an accomplishment
I
around
think Jamie
Spa
only
for
had one too.
50%.
So
I had to.
I think he picked up two. I think, but I've got Joe. To be honest, Jamie. I mean, you went round that track and you didn't lose it at bus stop on the exit that entire time, but you did on that last. Was that just a little bit of overthrottle on purpose at all? Just be
No,
honest. Was it?
that was intentional. I wanted to make it seem like I lost control, so invited.
Exactly what I thought when I seen
Wow.
it. This is what I'm saying. You
I did
seen?
that.
Yeah.
I did that in
You
PRL.
see, you think I didn't notice that though, but the thing is, you can't drive around that track
Good
that
pickup,
well
dogs.
without me noticing that, bro. No, because they're not crap drivers, bro. They don't do that. You can't do that. But that's fair play, and I think Bthommm noticed that. But at the end of the day, he went for it anyway. So.
Yeah.
Hey,
Fair play
dogs,
to you both, and the fact is, did you see how close there was to the finish line at the end? I mean, come on, boys, you both deserved the win anyway.
incredible.
Well done.
But
Yeah, could've gone either
dogs,
way.
we'll come back. We'll come back. to
No,
you.
it's alright, I'm done.
Dogs.
Well done,
Just
Chico.
quickly, Leader Lee or Jordan, do you have any questions for the drivers?
No, none at all. It was a great
I
showing.
do.
I mean,
I do have a
absolute
question
fireworks to watch.
for Bthommm. Bthommm, where are you gonna get my $150 from?
I was gonna say is like, damn, dude, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I
Oh,
cost
yeah.
you your 150.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that.
Pa, pa,
What do you,
pa,
I
rap.
bet when you saw that 13,000, so you're like,
Good
fuck,
race, bro.
dude.
Good race.
Yeah,
13,000th of a second, ladies and
Bthommm was the
gentlemen.
guy you bet with.
yeah. Honestly, there was just like one tiny mistake I made with the last lap, and that was just me not putting it to none earlier. I think, because I mean, he was always going to get me on the DRS straight after, I decided to go for it. So just putting it in none a bit earlier would have given me that extra deployment I would have needed on the, run to the line. But, it's tiny things like that that make the difference when it's as competitive as this. Yeah, that's why, like I said earlier, it's important to watch your own footage and see like where you can improve and always find like tiny errors that you might have made and figure out how you can mitigate those.
That being said, I'm friends with both you guys. You guys were both scouting each other. Yeah.
Not really,
Just a
no.
little bit here and there. Just check it out, see what to
I
expect.
remember, like when we were looking for drivers going into the Lightning Cup season. I mean, I
Yep.
spotted that Mcjammy was pretty good early on, but just because the time zone difference, I haven't really had the opportunity to watch many of his races. But I mean, obviously, with someone as quick as he is, you have to treat it with respect. You can't just be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just pull up and do whatever. But
Well,
yeah,
you know what? We all enjoyed watching it. I think you guys enjoyed the race, and maybe sometime down the road we could do it, guys.
yeah,
Would ever be
100%.
open to it. Mcjammy, any final comments, brother?
No, I don't have any final comments.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you and congratulations, of course.
A year from now will be
Yeah.
Mcjammy Bthommm versus the Maestro.
I just gotta say one
I look
last
forward to
thing.
it, man. I look
One
forward
last
to
thing.
it.
I
One
want to
last
test
thing.
Ross.
One last thing. Like and subscribe. Also, make sure you look up Bthomm's YouTube and Mcjammy's if you want to learn how to race properly, because that's just showing you how to do it.
But no, that would be great. I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
So I'm rooting for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, thanks for that information you gave me on that setup that I created for Imola. That actually gave me a couple of tenths, so that does help a lot.
Yeah, no problem. Glad to help.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm just going to wrap up with
DRS.
telecast. I do want to congratulate both these drivers and thank them for putting on a show here and being so open with the interviews and willing to help other drivers, importantly, too, man. So, yeah, congratulations to both these guys. Thank you to everyone who did commentary with me, and see you again soon for another one down the road, man. Well, thank you guys so much, man. That was awesome.
Yo, thanks,
Yeah,
T-Bone,
that was
great,
bro.
man.
You didn't